So today we're diving into a hot topic for digital nomads, where to live in Bangkok. It's one of the most exciting cities for remote workers, but figuring out the right neighborhood, not always easy.
Totally. Bangkok has so many districts, each with its own vibe. The blog we're looking at highlights 4 top areas: Sukhumvit, Ari, Silom, and Thonglor. Let's start with Sukhumvit. Thoughts?
It's like the default answer for many nomads. Super connected, lots of co-working spots, and you're never far from a good cafe. But can we talk about how crowded it gets?
Oh yeah, between the malls and traffic, Sukhumvit can feel overwhelming. But if you're into energy and don't mind the chaos, it's hard to beat.
Right. Plus, it's home to expat-friendly neighborhoods like Ekamai and Phrom Phong. Those areas strike a decent balance, modern yet more relaxed than, say, Asak.
Ekamai especially has that chill, almost Bali meets Bangkok feel. And rent? Not the cheapest, but manageable if you're earning in dollars or euros.
Now, Ari, that one surprised me in the blog. It's not on every tourist's radar, but apparently a gem for nomads.
Yeah, Ari's got that artsy, local feel. Tree-lined streets, independent cafes, vintage shops. It's quieter, more Thai in a way without losing the conveniences.
It reminds me of Williamsburg in New York, but with Thai food stalls. The blog called it a hipster haven, and honestly, that fits.
True. The pace is slower there, which is great if you're more focused on deep work than bar hopping.
Speaking of which, Silom made the list too, which I didn't expect. Isn't that more of a financial district?
It is, but after hours it transforms. You get this weird duality, corporate by day, nightlife, and street food by night. There's also Lumpini Park nearby, which is a blessing in a city this dense.
That park is like Bangkok's Central Park. Having greenery in walking distance, that's a massive win for mental health.
And honestly, rent in Silom isn't outrageous. You get good transport links too. Both the BTS and MRT run through it.
Okay, now Thonglor. This one's for the cool kids, right?
If by cool, you mean people who brunch in chic cafes and have a favorite wine bar, then yes. Thonglor is upscale, trendy, and very international.
But that comes with a price tag, probably the priciest area on this list.
Definitely. You're paying for the lifestyle, not just the apartment. But if networking and socializing are high priorities, Thonglor delivers.
I love the blog's breakdown of lifestyle fit, like Sukhumvit for convenience, Ari for charm, Silom for balance, Thonglor for style.
It really boils down to your priorities. Need a co-working space next door? Go Sukhumvit. Want peace and trees? Try Ari. Want to feel like you're in a Netflix show about urban creatives? Thonglor.
Ha, so true. And the blog also gave some practical tips, like choosing a spot near BTS or MRT stations, crucial for avoiding the infamous Bangkok traffic.
Absolutely. The city's transit system is solid if you're near it. But stray too far and you'll be stuck in gridlock more than you'd like.
The article also touched on short-term leases and Airbnb options. Good to see that flexibility is not a problem.
Yeah, a lot of condos offer monthly rentals now. Plus, with platforms like Digi Property or even Facebook groups, it's easier than ever to apartment hunt remotely.
Have you ever tried apartment hunting in Bangkok during rainy season?
Unfortunately, yes. It's like an Olympic sport, with umbrellas. You learn fast that 10 minutes walk from BTS can mean wading through ankle-deep water.
That's the Bangkok experience. But hey, the lifestyle perks make up for it. Affordable massages, great food, amazing community of nomads.
The blog nailed that. It's not just about housing, it's about lifestyle. Bangkok lets you work hard and chill harder.
One thing I wish they covered more was the visa situation. I mean, it's a big part of planning a stay, right?
True. They briefly mentioned it, but didn't go deep. Digital nomads usually start on tourist visas, do border runs, or try the new long-stay visas if eligible.
It'd be cool to see Bangkok offer an official digital nomad visa. Imagine the boom in co-working cafes.
Right? They're already halfway there. The infrastructure's in place. The vibe is there, just needs the paperwork to catch up.
So wrapping up, what's your pick if you had to set up for 6 months?
Tough call, but I'd go with Ari. I like the peace, the indie vibe, and fewer crowds. You?
I'd still lean towards Sukhumvit. It's chaotic, but the convenience is unbeatable, especially if I'm juggling work, gym, and errands.
Fair. I guess that's the beauty of Bangkok. You can find your own version of the city.
Exactly. And with that, we'll leave our listeners with a thought. What matters more to you, speed or soul, chaos or calm?
Great question. And if you're heading to Bangkok, don't just book the first condo you see. Walk the neighborhood, sip a coffee, feel it out.
Thanks for tuning in. More city breakdowns and nomad tips coming up in the next episode. Catch you then.